Welcome back. Welcome back to the Extraordinary Drummer Show. As you know, I'm your host, Cheron Moore. You know, I always say today. I'm excited today. I always wanted to talk to this young man. If I may say young man, I'm a little older, I guess. He's doing some blazing work out there. I said to him earlier on the phone, I said, you need to apologize to that drum kit. You need to call your endorser and say, I'm sorry I got to do this to this kid, but he's awesome. Known in the gospel world, in the gospel community. I just learned that he does play other music, fusion and other things, which we're going to talk about. His credits includes Marvin, Sapp, good friend of mine, Carr. He's a drummer's drummer. Would you help me welcome to the Extraordinary Drummer Show today, Lacy Comer. Hey, Lacy.
What's up, man?
You're from Indianapolis, Indiana?
Yep.
Yeah, man. A lot of good music came out of there.
Yes, sir.
Let me take you all the way back. Tell me, how did you get started with drums, and when did you get your first drum kit?
My grandmother was a pastor, preacher. She's all that. And she had told my mom and everybody in my family that she was like, he's going to be a musician. He's going to be a drummer. He's going to be just everywhere. So I guess she just saw it before anybody else could see it. Because when I was younger, I was like 2 years old, 3 years old, and I was clapping on beat. And she just saw from there. She was like, he's going to be a musician. And so I think I got my first kit at like 3 or 4, around that age, and I just was playing ever since.
Take me to high school. What was the scene in high school? Did you do any of that bugle drum corps stuff?
Yeah, so I actually at high school, they wanted me to be a part of marching band. I would do it for a little bit and then I would stop. I was more so, I like playing jazz. So I was on with the jazz ensemble. And during high school, I played that for my last 3 years of high school. Yeah. And I played for like some show choirs, gospel choirs, and all that. I mostly did jazz.
I noticed when you play drums, you stay on the top a lot, a whole lot of cymbal work.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna touch that. I'm gonna let you tell me why on that.
Most of the time, a lot of things I feel like I could color it more with the cymbals than rather doing it with the toms or the snare or, just, I don't know. I feel like sometimes when bass players play certain things, it's good for me to go to the cymbals and accent what he's playing or, anything. I feel like the cymbals are a little bit more uplifting than the toms, if that makes sense. It's kind of, my theory be a little different from others, but yeah.
No, Lacy, you're gonna have to give me some longer answers than that, or we're gonna be here for 5 minutes. It's a 30-minute show. I'm just joking. You give me these yes and no, I'm gonna edit this show in 1 minute, and it's gonna be a 30-second show. Speaking of Instagram, what do you think about that? Do you think Instagram is really playing drums?
Yeah. I mean, I think Instagram is a way to get put on, if that makes sense. The whatever scene you want to get on. I know it's guys that I personally know, and they actually got a gig from Instagram. So, and I have too. So I feel like once everybody figures that out, then the motive of everybody's mind is to go to Instagram and, let me put out my best video because Lacy got a call off of Instagram. Lacy got this gig off of playing Instagram. So I think now that everybody is trying to, let me do this because he did that, or he did that and he got famous off of Instagram, or you know what I'm saying? And that's where the motive, or you know, that situation gets icky. Cause it's like you can't just go on Instagram just to spaz out because you think you're gonna get this Jay-Z gig. Or you know what I'm saying? So
amazing. Amazing. Let's talk endorsements a little bit. What endorsements are you doing? Drums, cymbals, and so forth.
I'm actually working on an endorsement right now. I don't have any endorsements, but I am working on a few, stick wise and cymbal wise. Hopefully everybody will see that eventually. But before COVID happened, I was actually supposed to be real well-rounded with endorsements for drums, sticks, cymbals, drum cases. But a lot of that stuff fell through because the tours and all the few little gigs that I had coming up got canceled. So, but I am working on some stuff now. So hopefully people should be seeing that soon.
Give you a congratulations in advance.
Thank you.
Look forward to seeing you at NAMM one of these years.
Yes, sir.
Let's talk a little bit credits. Boy, your credits reads like the who's who. I should have had 5 pages here for that. Credits: Marvin Sapp, Kurt Carr, Vashawn Mitchell, Judah Band, and Jason Claiborne, amongst many others. What's it like working with Marvin Sapp? What was that like?
Man, it was fun. I didn't get to do any record work with him, like recording, but I did get to do a Lord, I'm getting tongue tied. A few gigs with him, concerts and stuff. So that was very fun. He's a dope guy. He's a nice person. You know, you would think that since he's so popular, like he's not a good guy, but he's really a nice guy, man. Seriously.
How'd you get the gig?
One of my uncles, Terrence Ruffins, he's a piano player, and he was traveling with him when he would preach. So a few times he had did a little something. Maybe it was like a gig in my city or a gig in Chicago, like nearby cities or whatever. I just got the call to go out with them or whatever. And then I had visited his church a few times too in Michigan and did some stuff there.
I heard, speaking of Kurt Carr, I heard he's pretty demanding on stage.
He is very demanding. It takes the right guy, not the right guy, but it takes a certain guy to go with him. That's where I'm going tomorrow to Nigeria with.
Oh.
Yeah, so he's a cool guy. I mean, I just tell people all the time, like, you know, when you're playing, a lot of people, when they get in the moment, they get maybe, what should I say, anxious. And, you know, a lot of artists do that. It's not just gospel artists, it's any type of artists, preachers, praise and worship leaders. People get anxious. They're in the moment. They kind of can't, you know, get it out in the nice way. So you just have to learn that this is not personal. This is just, you know what I'm saying? This is just the gig. This is the show. This is what has to happen. So I think it just takes the right person to understand, like, when I'm in that moment, okay, I know this is not personal. He just wants what he wants. Let me give it to him, or let me give it to her. And that's my job anyways. That's my boss. So if I can't handle him or her the way that they, you know, respond to me, then it's just not the gig for me. Or, you know, the way that they ask me for something, just not the gig. But I'm a cool guy. I understand how that stuff is. So that stuff doesn't really get under my skin at all. So
speaking of playing with these awesome artists, can you explain to us, especially the younger drummers, what is it to play in the spirit?
Playing in the spirit, first, I believe you have to have a relationship with God. Now, I'm not saying you got to read the whole Bible, because the Lord knows I ain't reading the whole Bible. But I I do have a prayer life with God, and I actually do take God serious when I'm playing. No matter what I'm playing, I feel like I can minister playing R&B, but I feel like playing through the spirit, I just have to be mindful of what God wants and what he needs in that moment.
Do you get hung up on those shouts where your calves start hurting, your arms hurting, you want to look around and see who else plays drums around there?
Woo! Man, hey. Man, I will get up in a heartbeat. Listen, I'm never strangling myself. When it gets too long, I hope there's somebody there that can get on, because I will do the come up here in a heartbeat. Seriously.
I read somewhere in another article where you said you like to give God the glory on the drums. What do you mean by that?
That kind of goes back to playing in the spirit. I just
Yeah.
want to, give my gift back to him. I don't never want to half step when I'm playing, at church. I feel like he gave me this gift. So everything that I have, I need to give it out to him every time that I play. You know what I'm saying? And that's not just chops, but I feel like all my energy, all my, the way that I feel, I just want to give it all to him. You know what I'm saying?
Tell me about the shirt you're wearing.
Faith moves.
Come on, what is that? Why, what, where, when, and where? What's going on?
Actually, so this is one of my OGs, the guy that I look up to. His name is Swole Ray. He plays bass for Mary J. Blige. This is his line. So he has a whole clothing line, makes jogging suits, jean jackets, hats, whatever. Bomber jackets. He just makes everything with Faith Moves. So shout out to him. He's a dope guy. He's very high in the game. Even on the R&B side, gospel side. He's from Chicago, so he's a legit OG to me. So shout out to him.
Lacy, are you still over at Kingdom Apostolic Church?
Yes, sir. That's the church I'm talking about.
That's the name of it, huh?
Yes, sir.
3,000 members, huh?
Yes, sir.
What is the is it Bishop, or what's the pastor's name?
Bishop Gates.
Bishop Gates. You gotta look him up. Y'all making a noise over there, huh?
Yes, sir. I love my church. That's my home church. I play for another church too, but that's my home church.
Lacy, we do a thing on the show that we call Word of Advice.
Mm-hmm.
I asked the drummers, I asked the guests if they would leave a parting word of advice for the up-and-coming drummers, even for the guys that are trying to get traction at the next level. Would you leave them a word of advice, please?
I'll say just be a sponge. And I say that a lot soak up as much information as you can. All the information from a piano player to an artist to a drummer to whatever, anybody can give you information growing up. You want to soak that information in. You want to be a sponge, because you never know what information that you get that you're going to use. And you never want to be that guy where, oh, I already know everything, because that's not going to always be the case. So I just say, be a guy that can learn anything. What else do I want to say? Because that's not it. That's not all. But I do want you to be a sponge. Just practice. You never not want to practice. You always want to get better on your instrument. And just be a good guy. In the music community, a lot of guys are getting these calls because they're a good guy, an actual genuinely good guy, not because they can play anything. Just a simple fact that you're a good guy, because in reality, if you want to go on tour, I have to be with you for 6 months. So I don't want to be with nobody that's not a good guy. You know what I'm saying? So just be a genuinely good guy. Stay up on your stuff. Learn whatever you can learn. Be a sponge. And just be a great guy in the music community. That'll open up a lot of doors for you.
Lacy, I got a question for you. What would you want your legacy to be said, to be told?
I really just want people to say that I'm just a good guy. Honestly, I came, I did my work, I did what I was supposed to do. I want people to say that I gave other people a chance too. Once I get older, I always try to give everybody a chance, no matter what it is. Like, it's a company here, backline company, and they just started. But every gig that I have been doing since they started, they have been on it. And they called me today, actually, and just said, thank you for just being a good guy and giving us a chance. So I want people just to say that I gave them a chance. I was a good guy. I created great music. And I just was an inspirational person to them in life.
I think I could add so much more to that. Love the Lord, inspired another whole generation. I could put a few more pieces of paper with that, I think, Lacy. And in the time I've had you here in the interview, a humble young man, a humble young man. I see that in you. You keep that, okay?
Yes, sir.
Don't you ever go, I'm bad. It's gonna be over with. Let me say thank you so very much for being on the Extraordinary Drummer Show. Would you help us wave goodbye to everyone?
Goodbye, guys.
Thank you again.